Welcome to the Crafty Mini, and we're going to be looking back at some old projects before the channel was created.
The Orc Mega Knob. What's that then?
Okay, so this is the Orc Mega Knob diorama. So it was made from Orky Bits from 40k and I believe an Ambot from Necromunda. Based him on a wooden coaster and just built up the base with foam and cork, and then puts a bit like wire and bits of sprue for the barbed wire and things, and then he random bits just chuck them on. But yeah, I really enjoyed painting this one. I do like greenskins. There's a lot of character and fun.
X-Men's Gambit. You like him, don't you?
Okay, so one of the first busts I ever painted. This was a present from the Rev for my birthday one of the years. I really enjoyed painting this one. I'm quite happy with the leather jacket itself. The skin tone and the hair I could do a bit more work, and I'd like to perhaps get another copy of this bust and try it again.
The Crafty Mini Mushroom. Hey Crafty, that's us, that is.
So here he is, the channel mascot, if you will. So it was a 3D print I got from Etsy, just because I love the facial expression on this little character. Painted him up as traditional toadstool with the red and white. And he's got his little flint dagger, and just based him on a bit of foam board with some grass and just painted it up. Love that one.
Saruman, a top or thank.
So Lord of the Rings, one of my favourite series of books and the Peter Jackson films, and Saruman is one of my favourite characters. So I tried to recreate the scene where he's on Orthanc and he's calling down the storm to the mountains of Caradahas. Yeah, quite a good one that.
The Mindflayer Muncher. Here we go, into the weird.
Yeah, so this was a random 3D print I bought. Just like the fact that you actually see the mindflayer / Ithalid now eating the actual brains.
Silverbayonet team. Oh, what's that game you play?
Right, silverbayonet is a Napoleonic era skirmish game where you're taking on strange creatures and monsters, things like werewolves, vampires, stuff like that. And I decided that, because I really wanted to play the game, I'd make my team, but then actually make them a diorama base so I could have them on display instead of just having them in a box ready to play and things. So I matched up all the tufts and the earth texture on the bases with each of the miniatures, and then went out and got a bunch of, I think these are all metal if I remember right, and went out and just got a bunch of miniatures that were slightly French themed, and I've got a few Native American Indians in there because of Last of the Mohicans is one of my favourite films. So yeah, we've had an American Indian, the officer, that was the medic there, the old man with the blood all over him. This is a French sapper, I believe. I remember seeing these in the TV show Sharp when they're trying to chop down the door to La Haissante. I was like, right, I need a guy with a big axe. This is like a privateer that I basically wanted like a professional monster hunter within the team who isn't part of the military, and just give another little difference within the old uniforms and the silhouettes of the models. This is just a generic sharpshooter. Now the colours are correct, but the uniform isn't historically accurate. And as mentioned with the Last of the Mohicans, so Mogwai, I believe is how you pronounce it, he was my favourite character as a kid watching that film, so I tried to recreate him in miniature form with an out-of-date British red coat as well. And there they all are together on the little diorama base. But yeah, I strongly recommend you go and try out Silverbayonet. It's an amazing game.
Gimli on Balin's Tomb. Another Lord of the Rings on this, Crafty.
So Gimli on Balin's Tomb, it was just something cool I wanted to do. I had this alternate sculpt of Gimli. The tomb is just made out of foam board that I've stuck together and just dry brushed up. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty simple one to do.
The Mummy and the first go at OSL.
Right, so OSL is object source lighting. So in this case, that's the torch on the floor in front of the mummy, and you're trying to get the effect of where the light would come from that source all over. So in this case, all over the front of the mummy, and then at the back of him would all be the shadow. Something I'd like to have another go at.
Stig the Goblin Shaman.
So during lockdown, I couldn't get any basic materials and things, so I stuck these on old cotton spools, I think you call them. But yeah, another little green skin, a lot of fun.
Nova the Ice Dwarf.
So this was a present from the Rev, thank you mate. Absolutely loved painting this. I like the ice skin and the whole pin-up sort of sculpt as well, it's just really cool.
Matty the Mimic.
So for D&D fans, you all know what a mimic is. So it's traditionally it's a chest that when you try and open it, it comes to life and it bites you and attacks. This miniature has just got tons and tons of character. I've really enjoyed painting him, and purple is my favourite colour. So wherever I can get that on, I will.
The Dice God. Now this is a bit of a weird one. He's been on the channel before.
Okay, so this was just a random creation. Never intended for him to be in any videos. So it came from whenever we play board games with me and my friends, there's always at some point you're looking up because you need that particular die roll to do whatever it is you want to do. And we always say, praying to the dice gods, and then you do the roll, and normally it succeeds, and you're like, yep, there we go, they've been appeased. So I thought, right, let's make a dice god, and it is absolutely disgusting.
Minsk and Boo.
Okay, so for anyone who's a fan of Baldur's Gate, you'll know exactly who this character is and his miniature space hamster. This was brought to me by a friend, Cheers Cub, and I absolutely love this character and really enjoyed painting him. It's quite a simple one. Added some strange things on the bases just to make it a mini diorama within that glass dome. So some clump foliage for the tree, coffee stirrers for a fence, and some little flower bushes. Really simple, really effective. Love this miniature.
Call of Cthulhu RPG props. Now these are quite new.
So these are some of the latest things I've made as I've entered the world of clay, as it were. So we've got a Cthulhu cultist pendant, is what that's supposed to be. And the idea is each of these are going to be props that you give out while me and my friends are playing Call of Cthulhu, the RPG game. This is an elder sign on a coin, so the idea was this was like an inspiration type thing I'll give to the players, and it's just clay on a coaster, dry brushed up with metallics. And then I made this out of a papier mache and some more dry clay, and it's supposed to be like a cultist. Right, so the next bunch of projects we're going to see, unfortunately I either don't own anymore, they were gifts and were obviously given out, or they were commission pieces, so I've only got the photos that are left, but you can still see what I've done in them, so I hope you enjoy. Sally, take it away.
Ace is home.
Right, so this was made from an orc pilot and a mini fighter from Kromlech, because again, greenskins are just tons of character, and I like the idea that he's cheering because he's managed to land the plane even though he's crashed it and it's on fire. And he's got a really cheeky grin on him, and this was just a fun little diorama to make. Absolutely enjoyed this one.
Batman! That's how you do it, isn't it?
So yeah, a little Batman figure. I think this is the Ben Affleck one. Bought it and I made a little Batman searchlight that actually works and turns on.
Oh, it's another mindflayer, except this time it's a bust.
Right, so this was something I made for a friend of mine. And I actually ended up mounting this inside a treasure chest. I'll see if I can find the pictures and I'll put it up on the community hub. But it was also my first time using colour shift paints I used on his armour, and I just love this miniature. It's one of my favourite paint jobs. I'm very critical, but it's one of the few that I actually really liked.
Snow Showdown!
So this was a present. I've got this cool orc and a dwarf, and I was like, right, well, I want to put them on something so they're fighting. Look like they're going at each other. Alright, let's do a snow base. So baking powder, PVA glue and white paint, because I was running out of money.
A Song of Ice and Fire. Now there is a load of these.
So I played the Song of Ice and Fire war game, and I kickstart them, the original pledge, then sold it all, and then bought some more again and started up again. I'm a Lannister player, and I love the miniatures in this war game. They're true scale, so the heads and hands aren't oversized like you see on most games. And this is just a collection of the things that I've painted over the years for this particular game. A lot of it was sold on, like the free folk, the Starks, the extra heroes, because I just kept the Lannisters. But every single character is true to the books, They spend a lot of time on the sculpts, and the quality of the miniatures is overall pretty good. There's the odd few that, you know, it's not great, but the characters in particular are brilliant, and they're exactly like you'd expect from looking at the books. So this is a selection of the ones that I've painted. The original Stark stuff was all snow bases, because obviously they're from the north. The Lannister stuff had more like a traditional grassland sort of base. But yeah, these are some of my favourite paint jobs, just because I got to paint a particular series of books that I've enjoyed for 14 years now, since I was actually no longer than that, since I was introduced to them by a good friend of mine. So yeah, thanks Grant if you're watching. Good times. So yeah, and again, just a selection of the models, like Roderick Cassel there. That's a great one. He's got his proper moustache and his beard that he should have. I think that's Captain Stark. That's the original sculpt. The new sculpt's quite nice actually. One of the xmen, which is, they appear a lot in the books. You don't really see them in the TV show actually. Greywind, Rob Styrewolf, some Free Folk. They were good. They were fun to paint actually. A lot of browns. Craster, he's pretty cool. Angry old man above the wall. Bronn, everyone's favourite sellsword. This next one, Brienne of Tarth. Now she's not as ugly as she's in the books, but the miniature's just fantastic. The old Blackfish himself.
Greenskin present for the Rev! Oh yes.
So I've been trying to make a concerted effort recently for my close friends to actually make them things. I find it's a lot more personal, and this is for the Rev. Gave it in for his birthday. He's a massive orc fan, 40k orcs, and we used to have this when we played. We came up with these scenarios and stories and things. So I got like the best bits of my my grot army, and popped them all together on a big diorama base for him.
Aliens the board game.
Yeah, this is, I love Aliens. It's one of my favourite films. I mentioned it in the Q&A. I've got the base game and all the expansions. I've still got to paint a few of the miniatures from one of the expansions, but this is the core set. You get a group of Marines, Ripley, Newt, a bunch of aliens, and then I bought the expansion with the eggs and the facehuggers. Absolutely brilliant.
Batman miniature game.
Now this was commission, this one. So yeah, this was a commission piece. So Joker, for some reason I had an alternate Joker sculpt, so I threw that in there for him, for the customer. Harley Quinn in a traditional suit, so I did a gloss varnish, so it looks like sort of like a PVC latex. That's the bad guys gang. Deadshot. He was quite fun to paint actually. The heroes have bigger bases. Commissioner Gordon, standing on top of the wall. I could have done a better job on the glasses on that one actually. The Batman was fun because it was like the old animated style as opposed to that one, which is the Arkham series of computer games, I believe. And that's the full set, all painted. But yeah, that was good. That was a fun commission piece, that.
Bolt action, like the rifle.
So I am a massive fan of history, World War II in particular, for a variety of reasons. Just, I think it's the last true great generation of people. Not to go too deep in this video, and also I've got family members who fought in it. So Bolt Action is just a joy project for me, and I enjoy playing it.
Old Man Noi.
Yeah, this is my first sort of foray into clay. It was a Christmas present for a friend, so I made a mandrake that was rotting.
Japanese samurai present.
So my friend Luke, it was his birthday a couple of weeks ago, and I made him this Japanese samurai. I tried to do OSL again, but with two different types, like a bluey purple and a purple. And this was just a joy to paint. It was just fun, and I think that's the most important thing when it comes to miniature painting, is because we'll all start off and we'll do things like the 40k armies and all that sort of stuff. But find a miniature, find a sculpt that just, there's something about it that makes you go, wow, I want to do that. I want to paint that. And just paint it and have fun. Always, that's the most important thing, just have fun with it. Anyway, this was the Crafty Mini, looking at previous projects before the channel was created. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget the community hub. There is a vote for Sally wants to do something. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that yet, but I'm leaving her to it. and we'll see you soon on the next video. Season 2 is not that far away.